Hey guys,
Yeah.
check this out.
Whoa!
Whoa!
I thought that was a pen.
We're talking about Percy Jackson. So I chose for us to watch Percy Jackson and the Olympians, The Lightning Thief, the first of many movies that were adapted from the series of books written by Rick Riordan. I don't know how to say his last name.
Riordan?
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 So I chose this movie because it's one of my favorite guilty pleasure movies. I enjoy the stupid Greek mythology, like mixing in with the real world nowadays and stuff. It's got like it feels kind of like Harry Potter, because I mean, it's obvious. It's a young adult novel that was like feels very Harry Potter.
Also directed by Chris Columbus.
Right, directed by the director of the first two Harry Potter movies. And yeah, I enjoy it to a degree. And I just wanted to surprise you boys with this movie. How surprised were you?
Yeah, I mean, I figured we'd eventually watch this movie,
Uh-huh.
and I was surprised it was this week. Because I know this is one of Keegan's, movies he likes.
I would agree. I knew we would probably watch this at some point, but as soon as I saw the opening, like, production, like,
Yeah,
slides and stuff,
it took-
I was like, oh, yeah. Okay.
It took me a little bit longer than Chris to figure it out. I had to see, actually, what's his name?
Logan Lerman, who
Yeah.
I actually think is not bad in this. Like I remember like watching it and being like, oh, the acting is pretty bad, but I think he does okay. Like portraying the sort of like ADHD, frustration that he has, that the character has. I thought he was okay, and then there's some parts that come up where I was like, oh, he's not doing so well here. But I think he's become a really good actor, because I've seen him in like Fury and Perks of Being a Wallflower, and he's great.
Three
in those.
Musketeers.
Yeah, Three Musketeers is. So yeah, what's the first thing you guys want to talk about?
I wanted to talk about, well, you kind of mentioned how he has like ADHD and like, what's it called?
Dyslexia.
Dyslexia. I thought that was like hopefully that, I've never read the books. Have any of you
It's
guys?
in the books, yeah.
Okay. I was hoping like that was maybe talked about more in the books, because in this they kind of just talk about it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And so you kind of get like a sense that it's something, but you don't really know. They don't really develop much in the movies.
Yeah.
And so I was hoping that they did that more in the books. And what did you guys think of that part?
Well, they don't. I only read the first book, but it seems they don't really dwell a whole lot. They do in the movie. I think they do a pretty good job of explaining, like, oh, he's dyslexic because he can only read ancient Greek and not English, and then like he has ADHD because it's his like natural fighting instincts.
I wonder like what people who actually have those things think about that type of thing.
I feel like I've heard a lot of people like the representation of that sort of thing in the books, at least, because the movie does water it down a bit. Because he's the son of Poseidon.
Oh my gosh, dude! Nice.
Okay.
I didn't even plan that. But yeah, so like we said, it stars Logan Lerman, Alexander Daddario, my queen. She has just the two most beautiful, perfect blue eyes. But also stars James Bond is a centaur in this.
Pierce Brosnan.
Wide Eyes is Medusa.
Uma Thurman.
And I actually really like Steve Coogan as Hades. Mm-hmm. I find his performance really fun, even though he's just in a couple scenes. He's kind of like a rock star Hades, which is really fun.
Because rock and roll is the devil's music.
Yeah.
It's the devil's music.
Yeah, he had like a guitar, I like that little touch.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it looked like a Gibson SG, which is
Yeah.
what Angus Young plays in AC/DC.
Okay, and they did they play?
They played Highway to Hell. Yeah.
Yes.
They
So
did.
there's
Levi liked that part.
a couple. Yeah.
Yeah, because they said like we're going on a
No,
highway
he
to
says,
hell,
he says, if you see my dad on the
yeah,
highway to
that's
hell,
it, yeah.
kick his ass for me.
and then I'm on the hell. Yeah,
That's good stuff.
perfect transition.
One thing I noticed that was kind of funny is how a lot of the dialogue in this movie is just them like repeating things that each other are saying.
Or explaining actions that are happening.
Yeah, like specifically, I noticed it, like, it got to a point where I was really noticing it, and they say, one of them says, no turning back now, and then the next person, literally the next line says, yeah, it looks like we're stuck down here, and it's like, yeah, because there's rocks fell, yeah, of course. Like, it's just, like, there's stupid dialogue like that, where I'm just like, okay.
I don't know. It's like obviously for a younger audience,
Yeah.
but it's they kind of take it a little too much.
Yeah.
It's almost like their dialogue is just to help people who are, if you didn't get it, like if you just don't get what's going on, they explain it for you.
But I don't think people are that dumb usually.
Well,
Yeah.
you'd be surprised.
Some people don't like Green Knights.
Like
you
when
know?
they're like when they're in Auntie M's Garden Emporium, you started chuckling when he's like, all right, look for the pearl, search everywhere.
Yeah, good thinking.
Yeah. And then one of them was like, yeah, good idea.
It's like, yeah. That doesn't need to be said.
Okay, let's split up. Check everything.
Good idea.
Yeah, but the thing is like that stuff I still like, I enjoy because of how stupid it is. Like I still have fun watching it because I'm just like, this is stupid, but I like it. But I do like the incorporating the Greek mythology stuff into the real world, like, or like modern day world.
I
think
love
that's
Greek
fun.
mythology and all that too. Just
Yeah.
mythology in general is just awesome. It's such a great like
Greek
use.
mythology, Norse mythology, the Bible, like all that good stuff. I just knew, I knew that would get Levi.
His dad's a pastor.
I'm sorry.
I do like the modern spins on stuff like the Hermes shoes that Percy gets are Converse,
Yeah.
and like
What was the car that they escaped out of?
a Maserati. Because the symbol of a Maserati is a trident.
Wow.
Or like a trident, like a
I must have
three-pronged.
been having too much fun to even notice that.
Well, not like the lair of the Lotus Eaters is a casino.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that was, we all kind of like that part. I think the Lois Eaters, because it's a good story, and
And it's just a silly little scene where Grover's dancing up on stage with
Yeah.
everyone and with his pants off
Yeah.
because he's a satyr.
Well, and he like when he discovers the guy who's playing the pinball machine, like that's in the book, and I like remembered he like finds a kid who's kind of a hippie-ish looking guy with like like the leather vest, and he's been there since like 1971.
Yep.
But he's still young, and like it's been what 40 years or whatever. You all right?
That burp, I tasted that pizza we just had, but in a bad way. Yeah, man, Poker Face.
oh yeah, some great songs.
Yeah.
What was the other one?
Can't read my Poker Face. Poker Face.
I don't know. I've always thought the ferryman to hell was always a good thing. I mean, I like that symbol or like that metaphor or whatever it is in any type of movie. And so I like that. I like that he gives him the U.S. money and he doesn't accept it, but he takes the drachmas.
Actually, there's a couple of moments where they're in Hades where I thought was pretty effective. Like the fireplace with souls reaching out for them. I was like, oh, this is pretty dark. Did you have any pauses you wanted to go into? that we didn't already talk about?
I mean, this movie is really charming as like kind of goofy and I don't know the right word to use for the dialogue.
Yeah.
Simple, maybe, or like over expositional.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I mean, this movie is just a fun little jaunt through Greek mythology.
The weird thing about this movie that I feel like is that it's like charming, but also like kind of lame and cynical at the same time. Like when you look at it, it almost feels like they're just making the movies to start another series. Like there's nothing, there doesn't feel like, it doesn't feel like there's much passion in anything. Like they're just like, we're making this just for fun and to see if it spawns a franchise.
Well, because this was after Harry Potter.
Well, this was
Narnia.
The year before Harry Potter was about to end. They're like, let's start a new Harry Potter.
The studios were just looking for whatever.
Yeah, so we'll get Chris Columbus and he'll start it for us. Yeah.
So it didn't take off like the others.
No, it took them 3 years to make a sequel.
Yeah.
And then there hasn't been any yet.
Aren't they making like a series?
I believe they might do a Netflix series like what they're thinking about doing with the Narnia books.
But that's always like...
That's always like, yeah, it's up in the air.
Yeah. It's on the shelf somewhere.
It's not like Netflix doesn't have money to do that, but it's like on the list of things that they want to make. Right. I'm sure it's pretty low.
Yeah, they probably have they have a big collection, and then they say what they're thinking of, and if it has some buzz, then they'll start doing it.
I liked the joke where his teacher is in a wheelchair, but then he sees him as a centaur, and he's like, "You have," and he says, "a real horse's ass." I thought that was funny. There's a couple jokes like that here and there that I'm like, that's funny. It's like both clever and not clever at the same time. That's kind of what this movie is. It's like it's wanting to be this fun, family adventure series, and then it also just wants to be a movie that people watch and spawn a series to make money. Like it just kind of feels like it's somewhere in the middle of like actual vision and cynical blockbuster studio movie.
And there's some dialogue where it's like it's like it's thrown in just to reference mythology or whatever. Like there's girls in bikinis and like the hot springs, and he's like, Grover's like, oh, the daughters of Aphrodite, because they're a bunch of like hot chicks.
Yeah, this movie is horny.
Yeah.
Like it's a PG movie, but there is so much horniness in it. Everyone wants to have sex, dude.
Yeah.
Well, not just Grover.
Well, and then
I mean Persephone, and then all the daughters. Like, hey, let's go to this party.
those are nymphs.
And that too. That's what I mean.
But nymphs and satyrs are like in mythology are.
I know it's
notorious
just
for having
funny
like,
how like for being like a teen PG movie, it's got a lot of inappropriate references and that I mean I'm not like take that out of my kids movie. I don't want that in here. Get it out of here.
Well, in the same like way that he points out the daughters of Aphrodite, like Luke points out like when they get ambushed by these guys when they're doing like the capture the flag training, but he's like, whoa, sons of Ares, oh look out, like like I don't know, it's just weird like dialogue that like, okay, yeah, it's a little flavor, I guess, to to add
It
in.
wants
But,
you. It wants you to know that it did its research.
yeah, it's like, oh, Ares is a Greek god. We gotta reference him somehow.
Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about?
I just think it's. I mean, I think we were kind of talked about how the dialogue is kind of funny, but like, two parts is when he first gets attacked by the substitute teacher, which is what is it? It's
A fury.
a fury. Yeah. I just think like that whole thing is like he's like, what's happening? Oh no! And he kind of seems stiff when he's doing it. I don't know. And then also when his mother gets stolen by the Minotaur,
And it just kind of like Thanos' her.
yeah, he doesn't seem like to react that much to it. And then when they're telling him what happened, he doesn't seem to react that much. And I thought that was kind of funny. I think if it was maybe like a different, I think other people would react more if they're trying to react to that type of situation.
Well, and it's all about the writing and the direction too. Because yes, you could have an extremely emotional moment.
Yeah.
Where he like attacks the Minotaur with like more anger, instead of him just being like, "Hey,"
Well, he kind of thinks that his mom is dead, so I think he would have been like more sad.
Yeah.
When they're inside the camp or whatever. But I guess maybe it's just a kids movie and they just want to go straight to the action.
Well, he read the script, so he knows that his mom is dead.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, this movie's bad. But I enjoy it. I have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, I remember we saw it in the theater, I believe.
I think so. Yeah, we saw both of them.
I think he dragged me to the theater. He was really excited to see it.
I just wanted to make out.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
then I got into the movie. I was like, this movie's great. So, we're going to do ratings now. Yes, Chris, you first.
So I'll give this one a thumbs up.
What?
Yeah, it's a fun movie. I like it. It has its problems, but like, I don't know, maybe like a in between a side thumb and a thumb up.
Wow.
It's an enjoyable movie.
So glad you liked it.
Yeah, of course, I like it.
All right, Levi, what did you...
He's still talking.
Oh, is he?
No.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna give it a thumbs down because I think it's fine for what it is.
Yeah.
I'm just not the target audience, really. I don't think.
Are you much into Greek mythology as a viewer?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think it's okay, but
You just didn't say anything earlier, so I was just asking.
I think it's okay. I think there's some stories that are good, but I'm not like a fanatic of it, And I don't think this was like the best version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like that's the thing is maybe I should throw in a little like disclaimer or whatever, but I don't think this is a good representation of Greek mythology.
No.
I just think that it's fun to see them throwing it around in modern day and like kind of like taking the ideas and like that's what I think is fun about it. I don't think it's like, wow, this is the best representation of Greek mythology I've ever seen in a movie. That's why I'm giving it a side thumb. Because it's right there in the middle. It's got a lot of bad. I don't even know if I'd say if there's much good in it, but it's entertaining for me. But I think we could all say that the real lightning thief is the friends we made along the way. And I think that's where I'll end it. And if you're watching, Alex Daddario, I don't care if you're a few years older than me, I would still marry you. Or at least I'll have your babies.
Go to horny jail.